Do not take life in which God has made sacred except in the course of justice. Quran verse 1733. Every religion has different teachings, and I believe that it's important to be open-minded and accepting of new religions because it teaches one ethical values. Islamic scholars believe and teach that the control of life and death can only be determined by God's will, and no human should ever interfere with it. Muslims believe that all human life is sacred and must be cherished, for it's a great gift given by God. Now, why exactly can God only choose how long each human can live? Why can't we? Any type of assisted suicide, whether it be voluntary, non-voluntary, active or passive, direct or indirect, are all prohibited in the religion of Islam. It is forbidden to end one's life or to hasten the death of any person. In Islam, saving one's life is considered a duty, and the unjustified action of taking one's life is a serious sin. Suicide and euthanasia are not only forbidden, but one who even thinks of such an act will be warned of punishment, as it is stated in the Islamic holy book, the Quran, verse 1733, "Do not take life in which God has made sacred except in the course of justice." Killing oneself means destroying the creation of God. The Prophet Muhammad refuses to bless the body of one who had committed suicide. He states in the Quran that the taking of one's life to escape suffering via injections, electric shock, sharp weapons, guns, or any other way is considered an act of killing or murder and is forbidden in Islam. However, when there is absolutely no treatment or remedy left to cure the sick patient, the doctors are permitted to stop trying to prolong life in cases where there is no hope of a cure. Food and fluid are basic human rights and must be provided for every human being, whether one is healthy or ill. Islam advises the Muslims to only continue basic care such as food, drink, and affection. If the patient is proclaimed to be brain dead by the doctors, that there is no activity in the brainstem, the patient is considered dead and no artificial support functions must be provided. When death becomes inevitable, as determined by the doctors taking care of the ill patient, the patient should be allowed to die without any artificial support functions. It is believed by the Muslims that the best hospice to die is at home with family members around, because natural death is the most dignified death for a believer. It is recommended for the believer to read the Quran at one's final moments. However, if the sick patient is not able to read the Quran themselves, one may recite the Quran by the dying patient's bedside. Bear with patient constancy whatever befalls you. Quran, verse 31:17. When a person is suffering excruciating pain and discomfort, the believers are advised to remember that God tests them with pain and suffering in life, and then they must be patient. A Muslim is not supposed to be scared or feel panicked when facing sickness or approaching death because of their belief in God. The believers will be put to the test in many ways to prove their spirituality, and no matter how hard or difficult the circumstances get, it is not permissible to kill oneself. Believers of Islam believe in accepting any hardship, suffering, illness, or anything else that God rains down on them, and to be patient and tolerant. The wishing or asking of death is simply against the teachings of Islam, and suicide and euthanasia and murder will lead to an eternity in hellfire. Life is sacred, and therefore it's forbidden to end life deliberately, either through suicide or homicide, and to do so would be to reject the faith in God's divine order and to be kicked out of His mercy. Thank you.